With the 64th pick in the 2002 NFL Draft, the Broncos selects Nick Bonito, linebacker, Oklahoma.
Broncos country, meet your future.
Greg Dolich, tight end, UCLA.
The Denver 7 sports team is live from the draft and from Dove Valley with analysis, reaction, and predictions for the rest of the draft.
He's top tight end.
And Fort Morgan to Fort Collins to the Cardinals. We take you inside the big party for CSU standout Trey McBride.
I feel jacked up. I'm like, I can run through a brick wall right now. So I'm running low. I got probably a couple hours of sleep in me, but I promise you, I'm ready to roll and just excited as heck.
His dreams, safe to say his dreams came true tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us for Denver 7 News. After the draft, I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Shannon Ogden. He is Lionel Bienvenu, our sports director. We have it all covered for you tonight. Broncos insider Troy Rank live in Dove Valley, hearing from the Broncos general manager George Payton. Nick Rothschild in the middle of it all in Las Vegas.
First and foremost, Lionel, start us off by introducing us to the newest Broncos.
Yes, we got a couple of new Broncos tonight. Day 2 of the NFL draft, and they made 2 picks tonight. One in the 3rd round, one in the 2nd round. Then they traded the other pick in the 3rd round for more picks tomorrow and one next year. Trader George Payton at work tonight for sure. Now, the first of this draft came, the first pick, at number 64, and they got the edge rusher they wanted. Broncos fans in Vegas ready for this one, and former Broncos great Elvis Dumervil came out and announced the pick. Yes, a pass rusher, just like Elvis, we hope. One of the all-time greats. Linebacker Nick Bonito from Oklahoma. This was the player our Broncos insider Troy Rank had the Broncos taking at number 64 in his last mock draft, which was seen right here on Denver 7. So we will get to Troy Rank in just a few minutes at the Pat Bowlen Fieldhouse, but right now let's go to Nick Rothschild, who is in Las Vegas, and we're talking about Trey McBride, the former CSU Ram. Nick?
Going to get to the other Nick in a minute, Nick Bonito, but boy, what a night for Trey McBride, right? This was the sort of situation he's been dreaming of for a long time, and it did not disappoint. The Arizona Cardinals are getting themselves a gem, and let's take a look at how the pick looked from up in Fort Collins. McBride surrounded by friends and family, wrapping up a phone call with Cardinals general manager Steve Keim, and then the celebration. You can see the emotion on Trey's face. It's a mix of relief and joy, satisfaction of knowing his life's work to this point earns him a spot in the NFL. We all knew Trey was going to get drafted at some point, but what confidence, that sort of confidence rather, doesn't mean waiting for that moment is any less nervy for the kid out of Fort Morgan.
Anxious as heck, nervous more than anything, but I just kind of feel like I had this ball in my stomach and it's just finally relieved. I just kind of feel like the weight is off my shoulder, and it's finally here. You know, this is a moment that I've been truly dreaming of my whole life. This is something that it just means the world to me. It's so special, and I'm just so grateful that the Cardinals, believed in me and want me to be a part of their organization. It's so cool. I talked to them at the Combine. I loved everything they do, and I've obviously been a fan of them. Kyler Murray, Zach Ertz, he's played such a great career. Philadelphia, everything. It's just going to be so fun to just go and be a Cardinal.
See, that last part right there that he mentioned, I think is super important. He's walking into a situation with a ready-made mentor in Zach Ertz. I mean, McBride is basically a younger version of Ertz, and Ertz can teach him how to dominate the middle of the field the way only a 3-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion can. So, goodness, Trey McBride, he's got sunshine, a great team to join, and a guy that will teach him the ropes down in Arizona. Things are looking up for Trey McBride, the newest Arizona Cardinal.
All right, Nick, thanks a lot. So, yeah, from Fort Morgan to Fort Collins to the bright lights in Big City in the NFL. Well, let's talk about Nick Bonito here for a second. The Broncos picking up number 64. Take a look at him. Is he going to be good? We hope so. Troy Rank said that he could step in and add depth right now and possibly be a starter. We don't know what's going to happen with Randy Gregory. He had shoulder surgery, and Bradley Chubb has had injury issues as well. So, bringing in Nick Bonito, a former high school basketball player who's got great speed, was a great move by George Payton. And then in the 3rd round, they addressed another need, taking UCLA tight end Greg Dolich with the 80th overall pick. the Broncos actually traded down with the Texans. If we can take a look at Greg here. That gave Houston the 75th pick, and the Broncos traded back.
In the 2022 NFL Draft,
And here's the selection of Mr. Dolich right here. So again, a tight end and an edge rusher with the 2 picks they got today. Now they've got a bunch of picks coming up tomorrow because they traded their other one away for a 5th-round pick and another pick next year. So let's get out to Dove Valley right now. GM George Paton is speaking live at the podium about tonight's draft.
Productive day. We've got 2 really good players, got some picks. It kind of worked to plan. And with that, we'll take your questions.
You said edge rusher was a deep part.
Raise your hand if you have a question. You saw I was nice.
George, one for each of you guys. George, what's your evaluation of Nick and how he can come in? And then Nate, what would you like about Greg, specifically those big play abilities?
Yeah, Brian, we thought Nick was one of the better pass rushers, coming out. Just the bend, the speed, the burst, very natural. At Oklahoma, he had a lot of production. He needs to get a little stronger, but we didn't anticipate him being there, and so we're really fortunate. He'll add to our group. We'll have a very good wave with Nick, and and I think it's going to be great, really good competition.
Yeah, from a tight end standpoint, I mean, those guys are always the most unique, dynamic guys out on the field because they can do so many different things. And I think when you have a guy that can stretch the field like he can, I think it's really exciting. And I mean, just from all the stuff, it's not just the intermediate stuff, but that truly down the field. And then at the same time, the ability to strain and block in the run game. So I think he showed a lot of stuff. All very biased about UCLA guys too, with this guy here and some other.
We tried to get a
ends.
UC Davis guy. They
We were working on that one, but no, he's going to be a good piece to be able to utilize.
George, a couple for you. How critical was it to get a day 2 pick next year to kind of add to the flexibility? And then when you look at the board, are there some starting caliber players still available tomorrow?
Yes, it was critical, and we may do that tomorrow as well, try to add for next year. Now we have 5, we had 4. So we'll keep doing that. We have 8 picks. And then what was the second question? I'm sorry.
Starting caliber players.
Yeah, I do. In fact, we were in there looking at it, and we almost traded back in. There's about 6 players, that we really like, and so we figured one will be there when we're picking. We got 2 4s back to back, and I think we'll be okay. But no, I think tomorrow's going to be fun.
Nick, does that also give you some coverage in case Randy needs a little more time to recover? And obviously Bradley's dealt with some injury issues last.
I mean, that's not why we took him. We just took him. He was the best player on the board, and he'll add. They're all different, Randy and sorry about that. So they're all unique. They're all different. He just adds a little more explosion. And I've said, I think maybe our last presser, you want a wave of pass rushers, and he's done a lot. I mean, he's lined up on the edge. He's played stacked. He blitz him. He's spied. He's pretty dynamic in what he does. So he'll just make the group stronger, and that's what you need in our division. That's what you need in this league.
And Coach Hackett, with in the zone scheme, I know how important it is to be able to have double tight ends and make it always kind of look the same. Is he going to need to work on his blocking? We certainly know he's a vertical threat receiver. Is that something he might have to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, once you get to this league and you're blocking some dynamic football players, they always can get a lot better. And I think the good thing about him is the type of person he is. He was a walk-on when he got there, and he fought his way into that tight end role and was very effective. So I don't think he's afraid of any bit of hard work, and he's a great man, and so that's why I'm excited to have him.
You guys talked about the type of athlete that Bonito is, but you guys also brought him in for a visit. What stood out about those interviews and his personality?
He had a great, he's a little quieter. I like the little serious demeanor, very intelligent, all about ball. And, I knew some people that coached him. Jason Taylor coached him in high school, Jason, the former player. And so, we talked to all the coaches at Oklahoma and Jason, a lot of people, and spoke very highly of him. And here he impressed us all, so we enjoyed him. And he's going to fit, in with our culture and our team.
George, got a 2-parter for you. Number 1, what in your view is going to constitute a successful draft? And number 2, what do you think of the first round? And did you spend Thursday night watching highlights of Russ as you suggested?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a tough, successful draft, just getting good quality players that fit this culture. Smart, tough, physical football players that love to play the game, and we talk about that a lot. And we want talented football players, but we want good people off the field. We want to fit. We need depth, and we just want to, we obviously want starters, but we want good quality young depth, and so I think we have a chance to do that. I like the two. We're off to a good start, and tomorrow, we're looking forward to with the 8 picks. And yesterday was not a lot of fun. Last night we got bored, but we did watch Russ a little bit, and Coach had some fun. The coaches had a little fun, but it's always fun to watch the draft. You talk, you banter with the scouts, with the coaches, maybe a friendly wager here and there, and it's always fun to see the results. I did win a few from old Coach here, so lost a few too.
We were on the same side on a lot too.
A two-parter, Coach. First one for you. What was the fun that the coaches had last night?
Oh, it's one of those things everybody feels like they know exactly what's going to happen, and they don't get to see the whole picture. So for me to be able to be in the whole picture was quite nice to be able to name that pick at times. And but no, it was a great time with all the guys.
And then my second question for you as well. What role do you see Greg Dolich having this year, and can he be a starter from week one?
I think everybody's up for competition. I think that's so important, and we want the best guys out there as much as possible. And I definitely have a great feel that he's going to be able to come in here and contribute. And I think that's what you're asking for. And as he earns his way on the field, we'll see where that goes. But like we said it before, he's a threat down the field, and he's a guy that you want out there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, guys, first time we've had a chance to talk to you since the Melvin Gordon signing. George just went into that and asked the coach how you plan on splitting the carries with Javonte.
Yeah, Coach can answer that. We want the best players. Melvin's going to help us win football games. I think him and Javonte bring out the best in each other, and you just can't have enough good football players. And he's going to help us win games. We love Melvin in the locker room. We like his approach, his work ethic. And he's a really good football player, and you can't have enough of those. So that's what went into it. It was pretty simple. Melvin's a really good football player.
Yeah, I look, just kind of all throughout my past. You need to have a stable of running backs. You want to hand the ball off. That's what protects the quarterback. That's what helps the play pass. That's what helps the threat of being able to go down the field. And when you've got, two guys like that, and you throw Boone in there, that's another change-up guy. It's a really good group. He just made that whole thing stronger. And whoever's hot, that's who we want to feed. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it. And they all believe in each other. They've been together this past year, and they did a lot of good stuff last year, and we got to keep that going.
Do you want to come away with a corner tomorrow maybe and a tackle? Do you think those guys?
Yeah, that would be good. Corner's obviously a premium. We like the 5 we have, and I think we just signed a couple more. But definitely we'd like to come away with the corner. Tackle, if it's the right one, we're not going to reach. We're never going to reach on players. We're always going to try to take the best player. But certainly corners are a premium, and we're going to look, definitely.
George, they joked about the UCLA.
About tonight's 2 players that they got in the draft, and also talking about a big day tomorrow coming up on day 3 of the draft, and also talking about Melvin Gordon and some of the players they have here. So a complete wrap right there for you, live from George Payton and Nate Hackett. And all about ball.
Oh,
I think you have that tattooed on your arm, right, Shannon?
Yeah. And there was gambling in Las Vegas.
Well, gambling, there was fun.
What a concept.
There was smiling, there was laughing. Did you notice that?
It's a completely
the atmosphere there?
different organization.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Tomorrow was a new day, though, right?
8 picks tomorrow, guys.
Yep.
Huge tomorrow in rounds 4 through 7. So another big day coming up in Broncos country.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Lionel.
All right.
Coverage for the final round of the 2022 NFL Draft begins at 10 o'clock in the morning. Make sure to check out thedenverchannel.com for an in-depth look at what we can expect tomorrow. We'll be right back.